Hey vinyl friends and vinyl community, it's Brian from Brian's Vinyl Records, and it is Monday, which means it's time for another installment of Vinyl Editions. So here we are. What are we on? Week 6, I think, of the stay-at-home orders, at least here for me in Minnesota. And that means 6 weeks, or probably a little bit more than 6 weeks, without being able to go to my favorite record stores. So, as you've known, if you've watched my previous videos here, I've been doing a lot of online live auctions and things like that. So a lot of record stores now are trying to do anything they can to save themselves, to keep money coming in, to keep people employed, to keep business going. And a lot of them are doing things like posting online sales, doing live sales on their Facebook pages, things like that. And it's been really fun to watch some of these, and really makes me feel good that I'm able to help and buy some albums still, and kind of try and do, I mean, I'm not buying a ton, but I'm buying 2 or 3 here or there, and I guess any little bit helps. But it's fun to watch. A lot of them have been growing quite a bit over the last couple weeks as word is getting out. I think that's awesome. So I've got some albums here from a couple of my recent finds on these live auctions, and we're going to start in Minnesota. And I think for the most part we're going to stay in Minnesota this week. Oh, we got one other. Okay, so we're going to start in Minnesota, and I'm going to start with a place called Ultimate Collectibles. They're located in Hopkins, Minnesota, just down the street from one of my other favorite places, Mill City Sound in Hopkins, Minnesota. And I've been there several times to purchase vinyl records from them. They're a collectibles place, so they've got all sorts of cool stuff. They've got records, they've got baseball cards, they've got sports memorabilia, autographed stuff, just really a big conglomerate of pretty much anything that could be collectible you might find in this store. So I do stop in there every once in a while to check out the latest records that they have, find a lot of good deals there from time to time. So they've been doing an online sale Saturday nights. 7 o'clock is when it usually starts. The first one didn't go too long. I think it lasted a couple hours. The last few have gone about 4 to 5 hours long. So they get through a lot of stuff on there, and it's been growing quite a bit, so very happy for them. But I picked up, these are the ones I've gotten for the first 2 weeks. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one. This is Roxy Music. And I picked this one up at the suggestion of Dan from Dan's Vinyl channel. He had picked up a Roxy Music album and said he really enjoyed it, and so I thought I'd pick this one up. When I saw it, I think I paid like $6 for it, so not a bad price. It is gatefold, and it is interesting music. I'm going to definitely have to give it another listen. I didn't hate it at all. I thought it was just really different, but I did like what I heard, so I'm going to give this one another listen and see if maybe I need some more Roxy Music in my life. The next one I'm really pumped about. This is the first one I got off of there, and I got it dirt cheap. I think I paid $8 for this. This is a 1974 pressing of Eat a Peach by the Allman Brothers. And so this is a repress. It came out in 1972, and I have the 2016, I want to say, reissue that they did. And I gotta say, this thing just blows the reissue out of the water. The reissue was an audiophile version put on 180 gram, but I'll tell you what, this sounds a lot fuller. I think the tracks are separated nicer, and it does seem like it's there, like you're in the sound, right? When you listen to this 1974 press. I found that when comparing it to 2016 reissue, that the 2016 reissue was distant. It didn't feel like I was there. Like everything was put in a channel, one speaker or the other, and it didn't seem to come together in the middle. Whereas this one, you could definitely hear the separation of the instruments on left to right, but in the end, they're coming at you, so it feels like you're immersed in the music. So I'm super happy about this purchase of the 1974 pressing. This is definitely my go-to if I want to hear this album now. It's such a great album. So I just gotta say, when I compared them, this hands down beat the reissue for me. So there you go. Happy for that one. And lastly, from Ultimate Collectibles, I picked this up. This is the best of Porter Wagoner and Dolly Parton. So I haven't bought any Porter and Dolly stuff yet. and I did that purposely. I wanted to get the Dolly stuff, and I just never really gave a listen to her stuff with Porter Wagner. So this popped up, and it was $4. So I jumped on it and thought, why not? It's in excellent condition. In fact, it was still in the shrink when I got it, and so it's pretty good. So I think I'm gonna try and get some more Porter and Dolly stuff now that I've finally given it a listen. So that's what I got from Ultimate Collectibles. Let's move to one of my favorites down in the valley in Golden Valley, Minnesota. I buy from them a lot. They're just great people. It's an awesome store, and they've been around for 48 years now here in Minnesota. So love supporting those guys. They're just class acts, and they're just great people. And so they've been doing live auctions, and here's what I picked up so far from them. This is Bob Dylan soundtrack, Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Absolutely phenomenal record. It sounds so good, and all the instrumentals on here are just awesome. It's got, of course, Knocking on Heaven's Door on here, and just a really, really great record. So super pumped to have this in my collection now. And then also I picked up a couple of new releases, or well, new albums from them, not new releases. I'll start with Jenny Lewis, Acid Tongue. So I found her, I think, a year ago, maybe a little over a year ago, and based on vinyl community recommendations, and fell in love with her and got her two most recent releases, and then found that this one was out there, and so I picked this up from down the valley. It is absolutely fantastic. If you have not heard Jenny Lewis, I highly recommend checking her out. She's kind of a indie rock sound. Really, really good stuff. And speaking of Jenny Lewis, I also picked up this album from the band she was in prior to going solo. I'm not sure how to say this, but I think it's Rilo Kiley, something like that. But this is More Adventurous, the album, and this is also absolutely fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Never heard this band before, but figured I might as well grab this. So I'm definitely going to be picking up the other album they have from this band as well, because I really enjoyed that. Last but not least, we're heading to Matthews, North Carolina, where Dylan from Noble Records resides. He's been posting on his Instagram albums that he has for sale, and I saw this one pop up, and I had to get it because I've been wanting to get this album, but in the stores around here, they typically run about $35 to $40 for this album, and that's just not something I want to pay. Dylan had it for $19, brand new, sealed. This is Journey's Greatest Hits. I love this album. Have had it on CD, and it just reminds me of high school a lot. This and Steve Miller Band were really the soundtracks to high school, for parties and things like that, and hanging out with my friends. So just absolutely loved seeing this on his feed. Messaged him right away. He had it, paid him up, and he sent it off, and it got here real fast. So thank you, Dylan at Noble Records, for sending this my way. Absolutely love it. It sounds so good. So there you have it. That is this week's Vinyl Editions. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Love to see that. Love the likes. Also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you around for future episodes. We do this every Monday, or try to do this every Monday, and sometimes a little late, but we try to do this every Monday, new editions. And of course, I try to add more content as we go along too, trying to come up with some ideas of different things to do. I do need to talk about some sleeves for records. I recently tried a few different brands of MoFi type sleeves, and I wanted to give you a quick update on that, so look for that coming up soon as well. And leave a comment below. Love to talk to you. Check out some of these albums that I have today, because I think a lot of them might be new to some people, and if not, give them a listen again. They're just absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Check out my Facebook page and my Instagram, where I do post all the albums that I play throughout the day. It's Brian's Vinyl Records on both of those. Check out my podcast, Brian's Vinyl Records, on all podcast apps. You can search for that. And check out my website, briansvinylrecords.com, for the latest upcoming releases that are going to be hitting the stores someday once this thing's over. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep spinning vinyl, friends.